Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how is Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos day. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money joins.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Tia, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on parts and how to get started, call toll free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link to Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link to Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link to Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link to Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how is Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos day. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money joins.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Tia, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on parts and how to get started, call toll free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link to Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link to Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link to Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link to Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how's Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos dey o. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money don enter.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Here, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on parts and how to get started, call toll-free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link 2 Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link 2 Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link 2 Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link 2 Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how's Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos dey o. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money don enter.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Here, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on parts and how to get started, call toll-free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
The power to choose now is in your hands with GCB prepaid cards. When you choose a GCB prepaid card, load it before you can use the card to make purchases or transactions. The card is not linked to a bank account. All you need is your Ghana card. The GCB prepaid card gives you a taste of two worlds, Visa card and MasterCard. It further gives you three categories of prepaid cards to choose from: Visa Prepaid Classic and MasterCard Consumer Prepaid for individuals, Business Prepaid for MSEs and SMEs, Corporate Prepaid Card for government agencies and corporate entities. Everybody can use a GCB prepaid card. GCB customers, non-GCB customers, G-Money Wallet users. Make life a lot easier. Use a GCB prepaid card and enjoy loads of benefits. 24/7 access to funds, advanced security features, POS and e-commerce transactions and payments, withdraw funds from any MasterCard and Visa card accepted ATM terminal, the ability to manage cards on your own, and lots more. To apply for a GCB prepaid card, you have options. 1. Visit any GCB bank branch with your Ghana card, a mobile number with a valid SIM. Request for a prepaid card forms and complete the required information and make an initial deposit. Or 2. Use the GCB mobile app to apply for a prepaid virtual or plastic card. Visit any GCB bank branch to load your card. You can load the card with your G Money wallet. You can move funds from one prepaid card to another prepaid card. Use your GCB prepaid card on POS, e-commerce sites and ATMs for travel expenses, as a gift, transferring funds, paying subscriptions, shopping online, receiving wages, sending student or children allowance, business payment, emergency funds, business expenses, payroll disbursements, get banked, and for limited use purposes. Enjoy the power to choose with GCB prepaid cards. GCB, your bank for life.
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app and do more with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app is fast. Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience.
We're gonna be with you to make life a lot easier.
No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Where you bank, you don't need no account. Silence at the app, only see where they matter. GCB mobile app, GCB mobile app, making life so easy.
Pay your subscriptions and fees to over 150 merchants. It is safe and timely.
Get your bills paid on time. No worries. Silence at the app, only see where they matter. GCB mobile.
All transactions on GCB mobile app are smooth.
Life so easy.
Get onto Google Play Store and Apple Store to download GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life. The enhanced GCB mobile app, recoded to do more with ease. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Chalet, tap the app. Open a GCB Instant account to experience the recoded vibe. GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link 2 Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link 2 Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link 2 Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link 2 Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how's Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos dey o. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money don't enter.
Daddy is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Here, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on PABs and how to get started, call toll-free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
The power to choose now is in your hands with GCB prepaid cards. When you choose a GCB prepaid card, load it before you can use the card to make purchases or transactions. The card is not linked to a bank account. All you need is your Ghana card. The GCB prepaid card gives you a taste of two worlds, Visa card and MasterCard. It further gives you three categories of prepaid cards to choose from: Visa Prepaid Classic and MasterCard Consumer Prepaid for individuals, Business Prepaid for MSEs and SMEs, Corporate Prepaid Card for government agencies and corporate entities. Everybody can use a GCB prepaid card. GCB customers, non-GCB customers, G-Money Wallet users. Make life a lot easier. Use a GCB prepaid card and enjoy loads of benefits. 24/7 access to funds, advanced security features, POS and e-commerce transactions and payments, withdraw funds from any MasterCard and Visa card accepted ATM terminal, the ability to manage cards on your own, and lots more. To apply for a GCB prepaid card, you have options. 1. Visit any GCB bank branch with your Ghana card, a mobile number with a valid SIM. Request for a prepaid card forms and complete the required information and make an initial deposit. Or 2. Use the GCB mobile app to apply for a prepaid virtual or plastic card. Visit any GCB bank branch to load your card. You can load the card with your G-Money wallet. You can move funds from one prepaid card to another prepaid card. Use your GCB prepaid card on POS, e-commerce sites and ATMs for travel expenses, as a gift, transferring funds, paying subscriptions, shopping online, receiving wages, sending student or children allowance, business payment, emergency funds, business expenses, payroll disbursements, get banked, and for limited use purposes. Enjoy the power to choose with GCB prepaid cards. GCB, your bank for life.
Mula, is it what a roundtable do?
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app.
1 million, 2 million.
More with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app
Yes,
is
sir.
fast.
We go the road with you to make impossible possible.
Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience.
We're gonna be with you to make life a lot easier.
No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Where you been, you don't need no account. Silence at the app, only see where they matter. GCB mobile app, GCB mobile app, making life so easy.
Pay your subscriptions and fees to over 150 merchants. It is safe and timely.
Get your bills paid on time. No worries. Silence at the app, only see where they matter. GCB mobile
transactions on GCB mobile app are smooth. Get onto Google Play Store and Apple Store to download GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life. The enhanced GCB mobile app. Recoded to do more with ease. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Chalet, tap the app. Open a GCB Instant account to experience the recoded vibe. GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link 2 Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link 2 Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link 2 Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link 2 Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how is Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos day oh. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money don't enter.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Tia, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on PABs and how to get started, call toll-free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life. The power to choose now is in your hands with GCB prepaid cards. When you choose a GCB prepaid card, load it before you can use the card to make purchases or transactions. The card is not linked to a bank account. All you need is your Ghana card. The GCB prepaid card gives you a taste of two worlds, Visa card and MasterCard. It further gives you three categories of prepaid cards to choose from: Visa Prepaid Classic and MasterCard Consumer Prepaid for individuals, Business Prepaid for MSEs and SMEs, Corporate Prepaid Card for government agencies and corporate entities. Everybody can use a GCB prepaid card. GCB customers, non-GCB customers, G-Money Wallet users. Make life a lot easier. Use a GCB prepaid card and enjoy loads of benefits, 24/7 access to funds, advanced security features, POS and e-commerce transactions and payments, withdraw funds from any MasterCard and Visa card accepted ATM terminal, the ability to manage cards on your own, and lots more. To apply for a GCB prepaid card, you have options. 1. Visit any GCB bank branch with your Ghana card, a mobile number with a valid SIM. Request for a prepaid card forms and complete the required information and make an initial deposit. Or 2. Use the GCB mobile app to apply for a prepaid virtual or plastic card. Visit any GCB bank branch to load your card. You can load the card with your G Money wallet. You can move funds from one prepaid card to another prepaid card. Use your GCB prepaid card on POS, e-commerce sites and ATMs for travel expenses, as a gift, transferring funds, paying subscriptions, shopping online, receiving wages, sending student or children allowance, business payment, emergency funds, business expenses, payroll disbursements, get banked, and for limited use purposes. Enjoy the power to choose with GCB prepaid cards. GCB, your bank for life.
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app and do more with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app is fast.
We go the road with you to make impossible possible.
Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience.
We're gonna be with you to make life a lot easier.
No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Where you bank, you don't need no account. Charlie, tap the app, only thing where they matter. GCB mobile app, GCB mobile app, making life so easy.
Pay your subscriptions and fees to over 150 merchants. It is safe and timely.
Get your bills paid on time. No worries. Charlie, tap the app, only thing where they matter. GCB mobile.
All transactions on GCB mobile app are smooth. Get onto Google Play Store and Apple Store to download GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life. The enhanced GCB mobile app, recoded to do more with ease. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Chalet, tap the app. Open a GCB Instant account to experience the recoded vibe. GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link 2 Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link 2 Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link 2 Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link 2 Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how's Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos dey o. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money don't enter.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Tia, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on PABs and how to get started, call toll-free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
The power to choose now is in your hands with GCB prepaid cards. When you choose a GCB prepaid card, load it before you can use the card to make purchases or transactions. The card is not linked to a bank account. All you need is your Ghana card. The GCB prepaid card gives you a taste of two worlds, Visa card and MasterCard. It further gives you three categories of prepaid cards to choose from: Visa Prepaid Classic and MasterCard Consumer Prepaid for individuals, Business Prepaid for MSCs and SMEs, Corporate Prepaid Card for government agencies and corporate entities. Everybody can use a GCB prepaid card. GCB customers, non-GCB customers, G-Money Wallet users. Make life a lot easier. Use a GCB prepaid card and enjoy loads of benefits: 24/7 access to funds, advanced security features, POS and e-commerce transactions and payments, withdraw funds from any MasterCard and Visa card accepted ATM terminal, the ability to manage cards on your own, and lots more. To apply for a GCB prepaid card, you have options. 1. Visit any GCB bank branch with your Ghana card, a mobile number with a valid SIM. Request for a prepaid card forms and complete the required information and make an initial deposit. Or 2. Use the GCB mobile app to apply for a prepaid virtual or plastic card. Visit any GCB bank branch to load your card. You can load the card with your G-Money wallet. You can move funds from one.
Hello and welcome to this evening's roundtable discussion. The month of October is reserved for men, to celebrate men and acknowledge certain aspects of the male being. GCB, your bank for life, is a part of this celebration, and today we want to specially highlight a few things. In this roundtable discussion, our topic will be centered on strength in vulnerability, addressing mental health and domestic violence. Now, to help us with this discussion, I have exceptional gentlemen present here today who are well versed in the area, well experienced and well exposed. Before I go on to introduce our guests, I would like to encourage everyone viewing us today that you can like this stream. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, like it and share it with friends and family. Let me also add that we sincerely apologize for the rather late start. We're supposed to have started at 5:30. Please bear with us due to technical hitches, but I believe that everything is smooth now and you're going to enjoy yourself. So I'm going to start introducing our able guests, and to my immediate right, I have in the person of Dr. Seth Mausi Asafo. He is a clinical psychologist by profession and a lecturer with the University of Ghana Medical School and Accra College of Medicine. He is a member of the Ghana and American Psychological Associations, the National Secretary for the Ghana Psychological Association, He specializes in corporate wellness and holistic well-being. He's also a domestic violence advocate. Doc, you're welcome. All right. To his immediate right, I have in the person of Dr. Eric Nantie Oting. And backstage, he kept on saying that it's Nantie as in walking. So, doctor. Now, Eric is a dedicated clinical psychologist who specializes in mental health. With close to half a decade of professional experience, he has affiliations with prestigious institutions such as the 37 Military Hospital, Trust Hospital, and Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Proficient in cognitive behavioral therapy and employing an eclectic therapeutic approach, Eric is committed to providing tailored, effective mental health that empowers clients to overcome challenges and thrive. Eric, you're welcome. Now, to Eric's immediate right, we have our very own Nana Kwabena Yeboah. Kwabena is an HR management professional with over 20 years of HR leadership experience. He's a chartered member of CIPD UK and a member of SHRM. He has worked in multinational, multicultural, and local corporate environments in Ghana, the UAE, Nigeria, and Singapore. He currently serves as the head of human resources at GCB Bank PLC. Nana, you are welcome. To his right, we have our very own Stephen Selam Hotok. Stephen is a seasoned banking professional with 15 years experience in both retail and corporate banking. He was first posted to the bank's home main branch and later transferred to Sogakope branch. I tried to mention the Sogakope right. He is currently a relationship manager with the corporate banking department. Salam is a chartered banker, ACIB, and holds an MBA in finance from Coventry University, UK. He is a result-oriented, hardworking, and very affable man. Salam, you're welcome. All right. So that gives us a fair idea of the kind of personnel we have here to, as it were, steer this conversation in the right direction. Now, before we go into the meat of our conversation, I just want to ask a quick question to you, gentlemen. What would you say was the most manly thing you did or you've ever done that backfired? The most manly thing that you ever did, but then it backfired. Is it going to be a random thing, or I should just call?
Mine will be boyish and manly.
Okay, so you can start.
So I have 3 brothers.
Right.
And you know, when you grow up with a lot of boys, there's always mischief. So the most manly thing I did was I pushed my father's car out of the house. I drove it all the way to Akosombo, and I shot petrol on the way. And I pushed the car from a very far distance all the way to Shy Hills. That was something else there.
Nice one. That's interesting. I'm sure it didn't repeat itself.
Oh, never
Or if
again.
it did, you made provision for the fuel.
That day.
Awesome. Eric, do you want to take it?
I don't think I've had.
You don't think you have one?
That was backfired.
Wow. Nana.
Yeah, I can't think of anything particular. Even if it didn't backfire, so that's where the conundrum is. But yeah, I remember those nights when I had to hold one of my children through the night so my wife could sleep, and I couldn't sleep myself. It happened many times.
Many times.
Yeah, it didn't backfire, but
Right.
yeah.
Right. Salah, would you like to share something?
I think mine would be a funny one. I think when I had 2 girls. My first, I think, 4 years, I had 2 girls. So I made it a point that, listen, I'm just going to be the Obama kind of guy. I have 2 girls, so that's fine. My wife had other she was just looking at me. So I was doing everything possible to just maintain the 2. Look at me today, I have 4 kids. I think, yes, it backfired on my side, but hey, it's it's a good thing. I have
It's a blessing.
it's a
Right.
blessing to the family.
Awesome.
The kids are awesome. So,
That's great. That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing, gentlemen.
But the last two, were they twins?
no.
So he went again. Okay, that's great. That's great. I will not share mine today. Yes, yes. All right. So, just to kickstart, I just wanted to personally define what we think mental health is. When we say mental health, to each of you, how does it resonate with you? Yeah.
If I go first, I'll finish it.
Okay. 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 But you still go ahead.
I mean, so I always like talk about mental health and deviate from what many people know. They hear mental health and it's madness in the back of their minds.
Right.
But mental health also looks at our feelings, which is something most of us are not in tune with. So I could be extremely shy and that's mental health related. I could be someone who's angry all the time. It's mental health related. I can be extremely fearful. That's also mental health related. Now, it also looks at the way we deal with challenges or the way we manage stress. So for many people that have good coping resources, we say their mental health will be good because when they have challenges, they are able to deal with it as compared to those who may adopt other coping strategies that are maladaptive, like drowning your worries in a bottle of alcohol or consistently blaming everybody else except yourself. So when you hear mental health, look beyond the thinking, think about the feelings, think about the choices that you make, lifestyle choices. You know, it's interesting that in the modern world, for many people, the saying, it's been 2 weeks and haven't slept, makes you feel powerful. But that's a lifestyle choice. And it has detrimental effects on you. So all of these things encompass is what makes up mental health. Not just that person on the street who looks unkempt. Yes.
Right. Thank you, Doc. Nana, do you want to share something?
Yes, for me it's, obviously I cannot speak like the good doctor has spoken, but for me there are a number of things that I watch out for to see if it's my mental health is on a high level or not. One of them is ability to sleep at night, okay? Just ability to sleep at night. The other one is, especially because it's work, one which is work related, it's about going home every day with a good conscience regarding all the decisions I've made, what I'm planning to do, so just a good conscience. I mean, that kind of thing. And the third one, a bit more personal, is what my wife thinks. I mean, they say no one knows you better than your wife. I mean, yeah, so what she thinks about me and so on, because I could put up a certain facade outside and so on, but when I get home, she knows me. She knows my vulnerabilities. She knows which buttons to know to tend to make me do what. I mean, that kind of thing. Those are the things that really I used to gauge, generally speaking. I'm sure we'll pick up.
Okay. All right. So, Selim and Eric, I'd just like you to touch on domestic violence. What do you think? When you hear domestic violence in the context of men, of course, what comes to mind?
So, well, I guess domestic violence is pretty much violence against somebody with whom we are in an intimate relationship. And usually when we hear domestic violence, it's done to women.
Right.
But research has shown that men also experience domestic violence.
Oh, we do?
Very much. And actually, statistics have shown that if you take out 10 women, 3 of them would have experienced domestic violence. And if you take 10 men, 2 of them would have experienced domestic violence. You would think that it would be more for women than it is for men. But actually, it's just a few standard deviations away from the mean.
Okay, Stephen?
Yeah, so to continue from where you know, I think domestic violence, once it's being mentioned, everybody tends to look at the feminine gender, but I think men go through a lot, and ours might not be more or physical, but I think the abuses that come maybe verbally, emotionally, and because men are supposed to suppress their feelings, we don't get to hear about it that much. I think it's really out there, and I'm sure that's why we're having this discussion.
Right. So just on that, we all have male friends. I mean, and growing up, we've been exposed to different kinds of individuals. Per your experience and everything you've gathered during the study of growing, what is the one thing that you think men struggle with, but have difficulty talking about?
Well, I think it's clearly, and if you ask 10 men this question, they'll probably, 9 of them will probably say what I'm about to say. You see, it's a societal thing. We have been brought up in a certain way, so there are things that you can complain about, and your friends will, it's normal. But there are certain things that if you get into, you might be considered as a wimp, and so on and so forth. So those ones people don't talk about until very late, if at all. So we take certain things in our stride. He was just talking about, it might not be physical violence, for instance.
That's right.
But if it's verbal, if it's emotional, and so on, you hardly will tell your friends that your wife treats you this or that way until it's very late, or until perhaps they see it themselves and so on. So there are things that men are just not conditioned to talk about because of how society is. I think that it's not all, in my opinion, it's not all bad, and I'll listen to what the good doctors have to say. But I think that if both male and female in society were to complain about everything they were going through, I think our society will be, as they say, some way.
So you think it's a natural order of things?
I think so. I am very conservative in my outlook on things. So perhaps that's why I say that. Okay. But I think that's how it's supposed to be. However, even though you may not be able to do so on a daily basis, there should be a time when you know that, look, where it's got into, I need to speak to someone. I think that's where the difference is. But if you were to do it on a daily basis, even now I would say that Hamas are why. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Eric, do you want to add a few?
Not now.
Not now. Yeah. Okay. Doug, Seth, do you want to add something?
You see, the entirety of the socialization that he mentioned is gender roles stem out of socialization.
Clearly, yeah.
And gender roles also define certain responsibilities that both men and women should. I'm not saying that we accept them, but it is there, whether we like it or not. Now, in that sequence, because of the role that men are put in, there's a certain responsibility that we expect from our counterparts, which is a certain sense of just honor. You know, like, appreciate me, let me feel like I'm your protector, I'm your everything. And that's why emotional abuse is very powerful towards men, because the same people men seem to be sacrificing for, doing everything for. Look, with men, if I should tell Eric that you fool too much, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But let it be heard from his wife or his partner. It hits a little differently because there's a certain responsibility in that interaction between male and female. And that is where the power is for women. So they'll disempower a man by taking that away from him and making him feel that sense of, let me use the word power, not in a condescending way, but just to express this reservedly.
Okay, yeah. That's great. So would you say society is the main reason why men are reluctant to express the way they feel, especially when they're struggling with mental health related stuff?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. At the base of what makes up a man are certain biological predispositions. Now, these predispositions are the things that make you manly. Simply put, testosterone,
right?
The male hormone. And the male hormone makes you want to be more, boisterous and adventurous. So what that does is that you are less in touch with your, let me use the word feminine side, reservedly, okay? Now, that predisposition means that you are more likely to act in accordance with society's definition of a man. Because it's there, the ground is already fertile for you to do that. But we also notice how these things have significant impacts on people, both, not just yourself, but the people around you. Now, I'm going to throw this question to all of us. How did your father parent you? How are you parenting your child? You notice there's a vast difference. So in as much as there's a predisposition, we have changed because you've seen certain things and you're like, yeah, I mean, he tried. That was within the scope of what he knew. It was what he was brought up with. So he was socialized that way. But today you are not doing same because you have more information, or you are more enlightened. So that's the way I would like to, explain this dynamic. There are biological predispositions, and society plays a role there. But at the same time, we are active information processors. So we make sense of things happening around us. We see cause and effect, and we use that also to modify behavior because we are anticipating to get a different outcome. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Just to add to that,
right.
So I totally agree with him. And society's imposition serves as a functional role. Like he pointed out, that's how nature has taken its course. Mm-hmm. So men have their roles, women have their roles. Just that some of these roles seem to have too much of an effect on both genders. In this case, we're talking about just men. Mm-hmm. So men seem to have they are dealt with a heavier blow in terms of the kind of roles that we face in society. The issue is how to properly adjust and manage those roles so that it doesn't overwhelm us.
So Salam, this is your question. Do you think this is the reason why the issue of domestic violence, in the context of men, of course, is underreported?
Yes, I do. Because can you just imagine myself? Let's say I walk into a police station and telling the police officer that I've been beaten by my wife or been beaten by my partner. What do you think will be the scene at the police station or at the counter? You understand? I'll be looked down upon, I'll be misjudged, probably the look on their faces that, what a weak man in front of me. So obviously men, like I said earlier, men will want to suppress their emotions, take a back look at it and not even speak at all. You understand that? It is the reason why, because of society, people do not want to come out to say, or especially men, to come and say that, oh, this is what is happening to me, or I don't even know who am I, the person I'm going to speak to. How is the person going to take it? Is the person going to have an open mind about it, or the person is going to be judgmental about it? So society, in a way, is playing that major role. Men are taking a step back and just looking at things from their own perspective, soaking down the pressures, and it's really getting them where they are not supposed to be.
Right. So I realize that a lot of the time when we talk about domestic violence, we often look at the physical side of the violence. But in our conversation, we've highlighted that there is the emotional and probably psychological aspects of all of this. How do you think we should handle it? And Seth, I'd like you to take this one since you are a domestic violence advocate.
Absolutely.
How do you think we can create an enabling environment where people can freely, express themselves when they are going through these things, and also how we can try and check the system?
Okay. So earlier I talked about biological dispositions.
Yeah.
You see, it's in every human being's DNA to want to let off steam. That's why if someone should slap you, the first thing you do is to shout. If you get into pain, the first thing you do is to shout. If something hits your finger, you shout before you recognize that it's happening. Because the architecture, like the physical and biological architecture, requires to let off steam. So we are supposed to express. That's the reality. Now, you see, truthfully, more women experience physical abuse whilst men experience emotional abuse. And it can be as simple as, by you two, are you a man? As simple as that. Now, men are very egoistic. So our ego as expressed by our partners is very important. That is important. That's why, men make this joke, I'm a stallion. No man will ascribe himself as a chicken. Dragon. So that's an ego right there, okay? Now, egos need to be fed. And being fed is what gives that sense of, I'm performing. Now, that same ego propels you to want to do more. And that's why I talked about the interaction of there's a responsibility towards each other based on these societal definitions of who a man is or masculinity and then who a woman is. Now, women recognize this. So if they want to disempower you, all they have to do is to do what? Bruise your ego. So things like, I'm withholding sex from you. It's part of that. Like what? So she doesn't find me attractive? Is I will not let you have access to your children because I know those are things that are important to you. And I will talk down on you. You think you're a man. You bought Range Rover, so what? People are buying jet. And it's such a big deal, but we will always like, me, my own. And you start thinking about it. Now, the ripple effect of that is that you start doing what I call a self-definition. So in as much as you are top in your field, you are HR, you are like, but she doesn't see me, like I'm nobody. And the reality of human existence is we are what we think. So if your thoughts are that powerful, you start to feel that. And I always explain that by giving this example of what happens when you watch a movie. We watch horror, we feel fear, but the kakai cannot come out of the screen. Or we watch an emotional movie, we cry, at the end of the movie. And you watch a second movie with the same people and they'll die again. And they are dying part 1, 2, 3, 4. And you are crying 1, 2, 3, 4 because we are what we think. And the reality is when the thoughts come, they evoke an emotion. The emotion pushes a certain action. And if you are kept within that loop, the abuse is more powerful because there are no scars on your body, but the scars are in your head. And they are not getting any healing because the same words or the reduction of your ego is happening all the time. And that's the biggest challenge for many men. Now, the other side of the story is, if men talk about this, there are certain chauvinistic traits in men. Men talk among themselves. And I remember one of my friends, he had a heartbreak. And he came and told boys that, Charlie, and we supported him. Solid support. With expressions like, you be door boy. Oh, you slack. John boy. You make somebody collect your girl? How then will he come again if he has a similar issue? So like I'm saying, we have the predisposition to express. But what we normally get when people express is usually either makes us do more or not. And this is an amazing platform. So if you're asking what we can do, talking about it means helping ourselves not trivialize what somebody is going through, because you might have a different threshold for dealing with a stressor, but that does not naturally mean that the other person can. So let's just listen and not be judgmental. That's the first start.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Nana, I don't know if you want to add something to it.
Well, I mean, so I was thinking about what it is traditionally, and what he said is correct. Is exactly what is happening. But I think that we of this generation have fewer excuses to remain in this. One is because of the information that is mentioned. We have access to more information. And these days, we talk about technology a lot. Now, while it has its bad side, you cannot bury yourself in your phone forever because you want to get away. That's fine. But these days, there are all sorts of people that you can speak to without seeing them, without them being judgmental. They are trained to do it. If you don't want to sit in front of these doctors, there are numbers that you can call, that you can speak to someone on the same issue and so on. So technology, yes, it has, like everything else, could be used for bad and good things. I think one of the good things is that these things are available. And so if you don't want to be speaking to your friend who, be laughing at you for the next 3 months, you can speak to someone, you don't know the person, doesn't know, he gives you some piece of advice, which helps. Okay, so we have less and less of an excuse to keep these things to ourselves and in our heads to a time that you begin to contemplate things like suicide. At that time, you are very close to things that you are very close to the edge. And so traditionally, yes, it will remain like that. I've already said I am very conservative in my outlook, the way I do things, the way I think, and so on and so forth. But it gets to a point where you should know where to get help from. You should know the kind of help you are going to get, and even predict to a certain extent the kind of outcomes the kind of help you are going to get, whether it's going to be a positive experience that you can go back and so on. Someone that you can go back to every time and say, okay, the last time I spoke to you, I was here, now I'm here, I think I'm making progress. No, I think I'm going back because it's that kind of thing. And it doesn't have technology enables us to do some of these things as well.
Right. So I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
I want us to talk about how we can connect it to the workplace.
Sure.
All right. So viewers, you're watching this evening's roundtable discussion, and our theme or topic is Strength in Vulnerability, Addressing Mental Health and Domestic Violence. To help us with this discussion, our gentlemen have expressed wonderful thoughts. I just want to let you know that you can continue to watch it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put it in the chat box, and the technical team will pick it up, and we would have our team here address it for you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue. So stay tuned.
The power to choose now is in your hands with GCB prepaid cards. When you choose a GCB prepaid card, load it before you can use the card to make purchases or transactions. The card is not linked to a bank account. All you need is your Ghana card. The GCB prepaid card gives you a taste of two worlds, Visa card and MasterCard. It further gives you three categories of prepaid cards to choose from: Visa Prepaid Classic and MasterCard Consumer Prepaid for individuals, Business Prepaid for MSCs and SMEs, Corporate Prepaid Card for government agencies and corporate entities. Everybody can use a GCB prepaid card. GCB customers, non-GCB customers, G-Money Wallet users. Make life a lot easier. Use a GCB prepaid card and enjoy loads of benefits: 24/7 access to funds, advanced security features, POS and e-commerce transactions and payments, withdraw funds from any MasterCard and Visa card accepted ATM terminal, the ability to manage cards on your own, and lots more. To apply for a GCB prepaid card, you have options. 1. Visit any GCB bank branch with your Ghana card, a mobile number with a valid SIM. Request for a prepaid card forms and complete the required information and make an initial deposit. Or 2. Use the GCB mobile app to apply for a prepaid virtual or plastic card. Visit any GCB bank branch to load your card. You can load the card with your G-Money wallet. You can move funds from one prepaid card to another prepaid card. Use your GCB prepaid card on POS, e-commerce sites and ATMs for travel expenses, as a gift, transferring funds, paying subscriptions, shopping online, receiving wages, sending student or children allowance, business payment, emergency funds, business expenses, payroll disbursements, get banked, and for limited use purposes. Enjoy the power to choose with GCB prepaid cards. GCB, your bank for life.
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app and do more with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app is fast. Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience.
We're gonna be with you to make life a lot easier.
No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Welcome back. It's been an awesome discussion, and I'm sure that we are all enjoying ourselves. Remember to send in your comments and your questions, and we would answer them as we go on. Before we continue, I just want you to know that GCB Bank is running a campaign, and the campaign is dubbed Tap, Refer and Fly to Dubai with the GCB Digital Loyalty Campaign. From now till 31st January 2025, accumulate points and get cashback rewards anytime you perform transactions on the GCB mobile app or USSD *422# platform. Rewards include a weekend stay at a top hotel in Ghana, airtime or data bundles, dinner for two, or a fully paid vacation to Dubai. Here's how it works. 1. perform transactions like bill payments, airtime top-ups, bank and mobile money transfers on either the mobile app or USSD star 422 hash platform. 2. Share the award-winning GCB mobile app with friends and family to onboard. Remember to use your own mobile number as the referral code. Don't be left out. Download the app on Google Play or App Store and start transacting today. For more information, please visit the GCB website or www.gcbbank.com.gh or your favorite social media platforms at GCB Bank PLC, or call our customer experience number on 0800 422 422. Remember, GCB will never ask you for your PIN, OTP, or password. T's and C's apply. GCB, your bank for life. So, gentlemen, before we went for our break, we were talking about how we can create an enabling environment for men to be able to express their concerns when it comes to mental health or even domestic violence. Nana, I want to ask you, how do you think the workplace influences this topic of mental health, positively and or negatively?
Okay. So the workplace is a microcosm of the society. Okay. So in the same way as traditional society will expect men to behave in a certain way, if you come to the workplace, especially because of the hierarchies that we have, it is expected that men in certain positions must behave in a certain way. And so obviously the higher you are, people expect certain behaviors from you. You must always be the macho guy. You must always be the guy who smiles when the storm is coming. You must always be the guy who is patting people on the back and say, hey, we can do it, and so on and so forth. And so you're not expected to show weakness if you're a man. And I mean, it's more so if you're in a high position in the organization, but it is generally like that. The women in the office also have certain expectations of you, okay? And all those things build up, as I said, just a microcosm of what society expects of men in general. So that the workplace is no different, except that maybe it's accentuated in certain ways by some of the things I've mentioned. Your role in the organization, your position in the organization, and even the example of people that you have seen rise to the top. Okay, how did they behave? How did they talk? How did they take things? I mean, did they take things from their chin? In this organization, what does it take to move to the top if you're a man? Do you have to be macho? Do you have to be the one who talks first every time something happens? Should you be the one who is always bringing up the ideas? Should you be seen as the one who has all the answers? Right. Okay, are you the one who is able to leave your personal issues at the front door before you come into the office? Is there any room at all for you to talk about one or two things with your boss? Maybe you're having issues at home. Can you talk to your boss if you're a man? To say, look, I want to take a few days off because of some domestic issues and so on and so forth. Those kind of things, they are expectations that we have. And they need to be dealt with in the workplace. Otherwise, it also adds up to all the stresses that men can have in the workplace.
Right,
yeah.
right. Would you, I don't know if you've had a personal experience where you've maybe stepped out of a meeting, very heated meeting, and your mind is not here. And then you meet one of your staff who has come to you with an issue, and you are expected by society or by the corporate culture to forget about what you are going through and, as it were, receive the person's concerns. Have you ever been in such a situation, and how did you handle it?
On a daily basis. On a daily basis. It happens all the time. But one of the things I've learned to do in such cases is to tell you that, look, can we talk about this later? Maybe it's my profession or so, but I've learned to say no in any way that is as polite as possible. So I'm able to shift some things. And I mean, when people see that kind of disposition, look, if you are a welcoming person most of the time, when you say that not now, I think they understand that right. Not now. So I think I've built that kind of. If you're an HR person, you learn how to deliver bad news in a nice way. So I think that helps a lot. But if you want to be everything to everybody at every time, and you want people to say this guy is always no, it's not. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're not God. There are times that you must know that, hey, I need some time to pause and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Right. Eric, so saying no, what role does it play in all of this?
Well, so as a human being, we all have our limits. So for example, I'm a clinical psychologist. assuming I'm seeing like 6 cases a day. Now this is an hour each, so 6 hours of listening to people's issues. There should be a time where I say, okay, I'm not taking more than 6 a day because I'll be overwhelmed by the kind of things I'm listening to on a daily basis. So, I mean, personally, since you're talking about men's mental health, maybe I can share this. Personally, I've had a situation where I was so overwhelmed that I needed to talk to a psychologist myself.
Wow.
Because, yeah, I was almost breaking down because of the kind of cases I was seeing on a daily basis. And this is like severe mental health issues. So I think this talk is very good for me because I've experienced it firsthand. It's not as if I'm a psychologist who just come and talk and say things that he himself has not experienced. I've been there very much. So sometimes learning how to say no, learning how to step on the brakes and say that, okay, I'm overwhelmed by this. This is way too much for me that I can handle. It helps you to rejuvenate and then come back stronger. But it's like having a bottle. This is how I see mental health. You have a bottle filled with liquid. You need it to be at a certain level. Once you keep pouring, it begins to overflow. So you should see yourself as a receptacle, a container. There's just an amount of water that you can take in. So once you've reached your limit, say no, and then it's helpful for you.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Salam, just a quick one here. Have you also been in a situation where your superior has bombarded you with a lot of work, and you can tell that you can't contain it? Maybe your superior also knows that they are giving you too much. Have you ever been to that point where you've said, boss, Charlie, this one there, I can't do it?
Well,
I mean, if not, how do you handle such situations?
I think we have, thankfully for GCB, I think we have a culture where our bosses are open for conversations like this. So if I find myself in such a situation, I don't think it will be an issue for me to sit with my boss to let him know that, listen, I know it's my duty to do A, B, C, but I think for the past 1 month or something, the workload is too much, and I think we should look at other ways of distributing this fairly across the team. And I think with that culture, it shouldn't be a problem at all for anybody to have that kind of conversation. If you don't do it and you keep quiet, right, you might not know when you will be in the office and you just break down. And listen, like we always say in this corporate institutions, if you break and you leave today, you'll get a replacement for you.
That's right.
So your well-being must be important to yourself. And things like this, I think if you speak up, it's to your own benefit. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So because we are there, let's talk about how, and Seth, I want you to start with this. Let's talk about how or what kind of initiatives or policies can organizations introduce into the fabric of what they do.
So, the most interesting thing about institutions is that they also form one of the significant fabrics of socialization. So, for instance, the work culture also plays a significant role into how the person thinks. Recently on World Mental Health Day, we had an employee assistance program summit made up of different institutions, and I was fascinated to hear how there are certain institutions in Ghana that give paternity leaves. I don't know if GCB does.
Not yet.
Aha. Now, so I even made a joke that I was going to send my CV there. Now, clearly, I mean, you have maternity leaves. We know how men also have postpartum depression. So once their wife gets pregnant, they are in the same light. I tell people the story. The first day my wife called me and said she was pregnant, we had a fight because she called me, I'm pregnant. And I said, oh, okay, we thank God. She vexed. I wasn't showing the excitement. But you see, the reality is, the moment I heard it, the first thing that came was bills, hospital, this. So the way I was reacting was very different from it. Now, think about a policy that says that men should also be given the time to bond with their children and help their partners. And that comes to a place of what we call nurturing. Clearly within our cultures, we are not socialized to be as nurturing as women. It is changing, but that is one thing. I have staged a lot of sexual harassment trainings, and you'll be surprised. Every time the reference is the men are perpetrating, so come and do it for the women. It's not that men don't also go through it, but the way they respond to it is more, well, it's not a big deal. So such a culture that basically recognizes that, well, both men, anything that's good for the goose is good for the gander, is important. But these things don't happen. Now, look at institutions that have what we call speak-up tools. The speak-up tools are so difficult for men to also to use. Even within many corporate institutions are specific rules that say women are particularly encouraged to apply, reserve a certain quota for. So largely there's been an agenda where men are being marginalized in the goodwill of empowering women. But does that mean putting down men? But we are part of the culture that don't make noise. So yes, nobody sees it as a big deal. But you look at policies now. It will interest you to know that for men, even when they are sick, they rather self-medicate. So even institutions that have health policies and insurance, if you run the math, you'll notice that men hardly use their health insurance. And many men, even when they are going through emotional health concerns, they only go to the hospital when it becomes physical. Even when they are diagnosed, they will do monthly medication, drink bitters, than paracetamol. So back to the initiative of for me as an employee assistance professional, I always say that the more information you provide, the more vulnerable you make people. Because sometimes we act from a place of ignorance. If we don't know, we stay within what we have always known. But the more information you give, like when I tell people, it is good to vent. You need to vent to create an internal balance within yourself. Now, if they have to express their concern, they are not looking at it from the society will look at me as, but they start looking at it from, if I don't express, it means more things that will happen negatively. And then the supposed manly things of being a husband and a father, I cannot do as effectively. So that is where I would land this.
Right. You spoke about postpartum depression.
Yes.
And I find that topic quite interesting. I remember I was in another country some time back, and a colleague of mine who I was with, anytime they went to the hospital, the doctor would ask the spouse, "Are you okay? Is your husband treating you well?" But they never asked the husband any question. Now, I came to realize, I'm a father of two wonderful girls as well, and I came to realize that postpartum depression topic, people forget that men are on the receiving end of whatever reaction the woman is going to create. But we fail to look at it from the man's side. It's only about the women. So if a man is going through something like this, how would you recommend, or what would you recommend that he does?
Like I'm saying, you see, the more you talk about it, the more people become aware. You might be interested. Many people go through and don't even know what is going on. And if I don't know that I'm going through a postpartum depression, why am I even seeking help in the first place? So every time when I talk to corporates, I always tell them, have a corporate wellness program. And all it does is give enough information to put people in a place to seek help. We've had a number of interactions where we've talked about simple things like just sleep. And by the time we are done, in an institution of 2,000 people, you have like 500 people hitting up and saying, I can't sleep. But in the past, they used to say, oh, but it's normal. So it's all about giving enough information. And we are in an information age. So we cannot let the same ignorance hold us down as maybe has happened in the past. So this for me is an amazing platform to talk about things like this, give information that brings awareness, and the awareness then pushes people to seek help.
So I believe in the context of the workplace, since we have our head of HR here
Yes.
with us, I'm sure it's something that
the policies
we'll be seeing soon.
The policies,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I want us to go ahead and talk about challenging toxicity in masculinity. How has society's definition of masculinity evolved? You mentioned severally that it is changing. Like, how has it evolved over the years? What has it, so we can start talking about what it was, what it is now, and where we expect it to go to.
Mommy's money is for mommy alone. Daddy's money is for everybody.
It's for all of us.
I'll give you a number of expressions. A man must be fearful. Finish it. Real men drink whiskey. See, these are just common stereotypes. They are things that makes it seem like bare men's. Oh, thank you for adding that one. So that's where it has always been. It's changing. Now, I say it's changing, and I'm saying this based on my practice. So I see a lot of men. And in the past, we saw a lot more women. And I can tell you that my clinic is booked until February. And majority of my clients are male. So I know that things are changing because men are now seeking help. They are coming and telling us how somebody is maltreating them at home and they can't talk to anybody else. Now, truthfully, just because they can tell you in itself eases the load a little bit. So even if I cannot change the beating you are taking at home, the fact that I can listen without judgment is soothing and refreshing and rewarding. So that's where I will start from.
Okay. Salam, do you want to add something to it?
Like you rightly said, men in the past are seen to be, need to be the definition of what masculine is. Total dominance, aggressive, suppress your emotions. But like we've rightly said around this table, information is out there. There are more avenues for help. People are now listening, taking good care of themselves by speaking to doctors like we have here. So, and I think it all boils down to what the society is also helping men do. Like, I wanted to chip in on what the organization should do. So
yes, go ahead.
Listen, like this discussion we are having here, it's being organized by GCB, right?
Yeah.
And we have a lot of men on call listening to this. Hitherto, it's all about women, right? So now there's something out there. So there's an awareness. So I think we should step on the pedal more on the awareness creation. That people should get to know that, listen, if you have a problem, there are people that you can speak to. I was even thinking that, even in GC, right, if I should have a problem today, right, I wouldn't want to come to speak to somebody who knows my face, right, in the organization, because I don't know what will happen tomorrow, where I'll be walking maybe to the car park and people will be pointing fingers at me that, hey, and that guy when he has seen a very you understand? So maybe if we could institute something like the Catholic, I'm a Catholic, so you see the way the Catholic people go for confession, where I go into a booth and nobody sees me, maybe there's a toll-free number that I can just call, nobody knows the number calling, so you don't know it's a salon that is making the call. So there's a toll-free number I can just call and just speak to somebody, you understand? So it's like Seth Riley said, from where we are coming from and where we are now, I think men are even more accommodating now. Those days, that these talks and nobody, that was the final say. Yeah. But now we are accommodating, we share ideas, and I think it's really evolved, yes.
Okay. So, Nana, I don't know if you want to add a thing before I ask my next question.
No, it's clearly evolved. I mean, I think you said, Doc said something earlier on, the way my father related to me. I lost my dad when I was just 8, so I didn't see but he was he was macho. I mean, he was an army officer, you know what I mean? So the company he kept, the friends who came, even at that young age, I could see that. And then when he passed on at the age of 8, everybody expected me, and I think I did a good job of stepping up. Okay, because I had 2 younger brothers. I don't have a sister. 2 younger brothers who I needed to help my mom to keep in check. You know how boys are. So I grew up early, matured, let me put that way. So it's evolved. So there are things that this thing about them and so we learned all those things and so on. But I don't say quite the same thing to my son now. Not quite the same thing. I still tell him that he needs to man up, for instance. But when I say that, I do not mean that if I see him crying, I'll say, hey, stop crying. I'll find out what it is. That kind of conversation. Yeah. That's what I mean by that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think things have really changed. And as for what Salom just said, the technology and so on is there. You see, when you get on YouTube, for instance, there are 1,000,001 videos that you can get that will talk about some of these things. Of course, you may not be able to interact because it's not like, but you see things that you could do this, you could do that kind of thing. Okay, so there's a lot of information out there. Of course, sifting through and finding out the right one is always an issue. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of information, and technology has really made a big difference. What he's talking about during the COVID, many organizations did that. There were numbers that you could call, you speak to someone anonymously, and you get some help and all that. So these are evolving things that we can also take advantage of.
Okay, that's right. And I think in the discussion with our chief medical officer, he mentioned that GCB has a psychologist.
Oh yes.
On call.
He's smiling.
Do you want to touch on that? Maybe some staff don't know that.
Yes. We do. We provide psychological support to staff who need it, many staff who need it. If you go to see Dr. Na, our chief medical officer, he does that on the routine. And the good thing about that is that sometimes, especially if they didn't come through HR, we don't even get to know who. Okay, because they have this doctor-patient thing.
Yes.
So it's very confidential. Anonymity is guaranteed. There are a lot of things that he has in his head, which you don't even know. So unless you come to me, and even when you come to me, come through our employee relations department and all that, we keep it confidential. No. This is about being professional. Okay, and I tell you, since I've been in the mark, if we're just okro mouth and talking about things, people would have stopped and would have heard about this going out. So there's that confidential, there's that short. Yeah, but we do provide that on a regular for staff who need.
That's great. Dear colleagues, you heard that right. We have that available. When you are struggling with anything, don't sit back. Make sure you contact Dr. Na and you would be assisted. We need to make sure that we are removing this from our systems, and I believe it will help us to function properly in our businesses, at home, everywhere we find ourselves. And to our valued customers, this is your bank. We care about our people to ensure that we serve you the best all the time. So continue banking with us. All right? Okay. Dr. Sen.
Yeah.
You are passionate about domestic violence. Now, there's this pressure on men, like we've highlighted, to man up, for a man to be in control all the time. How has this influenced or impacted domestic violence?
So you see, the thing about domestic violence is the key instrument is one person having power over the other. Okay. Now, even in women, if you're quiet about it, the more, and it's the same thing in men as well. So the more quiet you are, the more it keeps happening. And if you stay within the sequence for a long time, you come to a place where you are saying, the thing I've endured, why do I have to talk about it? But it's having detrimental effects on you. That is the way that it works. Now, in many domestic violence situations, it starts in very subtle ways. Nobody starts with the beating. No, it doesn't start like. It's very subtle. It's a control thing. I don't like the way your friends come and visit you. It's a quest to isolate. And once you're being isolated, you don't have many coping resources. Now, for us, the gold standard in domestic violence is talk, and talk. Because once you start talking about it, you start to get perspectives. People will tell you, hey, no, Because people go through the violence and don't even notice that they are going through it. They think it is okay that my partner can tell me that if you don't do this for me, Canaan, you will never go there. That's using it for an advantage, to control. If you don't do this for me, I'm not going to do this for you. So people may not notice and they may start, oh, but it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. But you are feeling the impact. And then it's draining you gradually. You are starting to even have physical related concerns as a result of what is happening. Now, if you are not talking, you are not getting any other perspective. And because you are not getting another perspective, the cycle keeps on going. I've worked in this field for years. And every time people come and I say, no, but this is abuse. Or how can I be abused? But you are being abused. Me, a whole man like myself. And I say, bro, let me ask you this question. When you need to get to Jerusalem, what is the sequence? Oh, I have to start calling my partner every day and telling them this. You seem to have to work towards it, which shouldn't be the case. And that tells you that the relationship you're in is not balanced. And anytime there's an imbalance and you have to work more than usual, I mean, it's not spontaneous, and somebody seems to be saying this or that, that is an abuse sequence. Before it gets to the excessive parts where they are starting to say things like, you are not a man, you are stupid, you are silly, it starts very gradually.
All right. Eric, do you want to add a few?
Seth mentioned about it being very gradual. Now, I've heard countless times where people tell me that, oh, when I close from work, I'll just rather sit in the car park than go home.
There you go.
And I think once you start seeing yourself in that space, don't be surprised if things escalate from there. Because there will come a time that you'll be tired of sitting at the car park. You just want to go home. That's right. And there's something called displacement. Sometimes people are frustrated from work, from family, other social issues. And then they displace that anger on a weaker vessel. It could be the child, it could be the wife, anybody who seems weaker. And so, as a man, you should always want to talk to somebody, even if it's your friend. You don't necessarily have to talk to a psychologist. It depends on where it has reached. If it's just the early stages, try talking to your friend, but it should be somebody who has sense. Because some of our friends don't give you advice. So make sure you find somebody who has sense. I have a friend group that I know what kind of things to talk to them about. Yeah. I was just chatting with Seth that there was a period where two people got heartbroken. Now, one of them, we laughed at him, but the other, we didn't laugh. We rather consoled him. And that's because you know who your friend is, you know who the friend group is. Some can handle certain stresses, some cannot. So I know I've sent us back, but I needed to chip in the fact that men handle things very differently from women. So the conventional way, we know that, people should talk. Sometimes it's different for men, because I think we understand ourselves better. For when my friends miss me, for example, we are still in the scope of men's mental health. They don't call me and say, I've missed you. I have a friend who just called me and then he just insults me. As usual. Now, when he insults me, we both laugh because I understand that he's trying to tell me that he has missed you. That women are more expressive and will hug each other and they will say nice things to each other. But I think if you understand the context in which your friends are expressing themselves, same for when your friend is even going through something as a man, because you will not expect him to come and tell you. So sometimes we should be our brother's keeper. So you notice a few things, like I said, somebody waiting in the car park for no reason until 8 o'clock before he goes because his wife will be asleep by then. Yeah. Right. So
actually, if you sit in the office, you say you are working hard.
Exactly.
Overtime. So he rather work overtime than go home to his family. Right?
I'm paid overtime.
I'm paid overtime. He doesn't care. He just doesn't want to be home. Right. So once you see a colleague going through this, so we should be our brother's keeper against. Try and help each other.
We should move the bro code, the boys beyond hanging out, boozing, watching football, and getting to know. Yeah.
Their hanging out is therapeutic.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. I'm just saying just to.
We should go beyond that.
Yes. Just going beyond that.
Because it's very necessary.
You see, it's good, but you have to also look at what kind of hanging out. Because there are a couple of hanging outs which are They are coping. Like every coping resource works, except some have side effects. And that's what you have to look at. If we have boys hanging out and we are drinking our heads off, it has more detrimental effects. Because you come back home, you reek of alcohol, and that's annoying. And when the alcohol wears out, the problem is still there. If I'm staying, there was a funny thing during COVID, the number of domestic abuse cases for both men and women increased, and our clinics were full because lockdown came. People used to cope with the marriage stress by going to work. Now work no day. So both of them are in the house, and then the issues are going on. So giddy. So that is coping. If you're using work to cope, be careful. It's also at the detriment of your sleep. It's at the detriment of bonding with your family, and not just your partner, but your children. So hang out, but make sure it's not one that's maladaptive. Is what I would say.
Thank you. I noticed that we talk about, when we are having a conversation, we often chip in the Canaan point, right? Does mental health contribute to that? I mean, especially, let me say it this way. Let me ask the question this way. So, if you do a random poll and you ask 10 women, between a man and a woman, who is more likely to cheat? 10 of them will say a man. And we've had this conversation right now, and we've highlighted that, look, it gets to a point where the man just wants to stay longer outside than to go home. What are some of the triggers?
The boys call it the harm has already been done phenomenon. Which is, and I get this, I'm saying this purely from practice. Like, someone will come to me and say, I don't even want to go out, but the stress. And then when I go out, I go and fall in a den of Jezebels. And before I know, the harm has already been done. It's what they normally say. You see, understand this. There is nobody in this life that likes chaos. We all like a sense of calm. We all want to be able to thrive. Now, the easiest way people cope is avoidance. It's in human nature. So I'd rather avoid the situation than deal with it. Because dealing with it can seem intense or profound in the moment. But once you deal with it, what follows is always calm. And I always use a malaria treatment in the past, chloroquine, bitter pill. But you take it, you feel better. Now, because of that avoidance, we usually aren't predisposed to head-on deal with the challenges we have, both men and women. So we tend to look for other avenues, and those other avenues are typically maladaptive coping. They do the job in the interim, but the problems that follow. Now, let's even take something more subtle, like the amount of time we spend on our devices as a coping resource. So rather than deal with the wahala at home, I'll be TikToking 6 hours. And I'm feeling calmer just by watching it. But I'm also causing a ripple effect because my partner, my children, even my job or the demands I have are all there and then there. And then it comes back to me as a stressor. And when I can't deal with the stressor, what do? I still avoid. So we take an avoidance perspective consistently. It's the easiest coping resource. I have a demand. My boss is calling me. I'll put the phone off. I play ostrich. Because if I can't see your phone, if I can't see you calling, there's no wahala. It doesn't change the fact that the work is still there, which is usually where the bigger issue is when it comes to men's mental health. We love avoidance, and we use anger as the best avoidance. So there are sometimes partners who want to be, they want you to be able, like, I can see what's happening. You are not yourself. I'm fine. Then you walk away, everybody vex. So the issue doesn't have to be dealt with. And these are very interesting things that you must understand, that in the human sequence, we love avoidance. And if you want to be able to deal with things, like I tell people, there is strength in vulnerability. If you don't know your weakness, you are not strong. You must know, if you go into a battle and you know that my weakness is in my left arm, by protecting your left arm, you get stronger. But if you go in there and you think, oh, me, I'm invincible, you will die early. Same sequence when it comes to that fallacy that's created within our minds in terms of how we're dealing with the things that are happening around us. So understand the concept of avoidance as a trigger to many of these.
Awesome. Eric, as a clinical psychologist, I'm sure you've encountered patients who have similar concerns, especially issues at home causing them to maybe veer off course a bit and become unfaithful at one point in time. Typically, how do you handle it? What do you tell them?
That's very interesting. Because I handle people on a case-by-case basis, I don't want to say anything that will make me generalize.
Of course.
Because I think the details are too personal, and it would be unfair to both men and women to make any generalizations, especially we saying that maybe women push men to cheat. Okay, I want to know what everyone's
what we think here.
Before I
okay, let me start from Selim.
So do you think women push men to cheat, or do you think it's in a man's nature to cheat?
Oh, I think I'll go with I'll go for the man's nature to cheat. Yes, because we have it in our mind that listen, like guys will always say, so I'm with a woman, today I want to go for jogging, and I want to go Manchester. Can the woman also go Manchester? You understand? So there's this mindset that men usually have. Listen, we men are like in the olden days, right? Our grandfathers had 3, 4 women giving birth, and they lived longer. You understand? This boys conversation that we have, I think it's a personal choice. I think cheating is something that is personal, and it has nothing to do with whether there's a woman that is pushing you. Issues like sex, we face these issues all the time. Face it head on and get it down. But you trying to use it as a way of avoiding an issue, and you stepping out there and getting 1 or 2 drinks and getting a conversation with the lady, the next thing happens and you find yourself somewhere. You can't play with anybody. But I think that is the perception most men have, that it's in our nature to cheat as compared to women. But now the statistics.
No, wait, what do you think? What would you say?
Well, I mean, so I'll start off this way, and I'm saying this from the point of view of maybe a theological point of view. It is in the nature of men to do sinful things. Okay, the heart of man is just really wicked, etc., etc. So there's that nature in us that makes us do things that sometimes people look and say, did he really do that? You know, that kind of thing. So it's the nature of men to do that. But that's why when I was talking about my boy, for instance, when I said I tell him that be a man and so on, one of the things I'm communicating to him is that you must have self-control. You see, because that's the only thing that differentiates between what you will do and what you will not do. It is self-control. Of course, self-control comes from, and there are many other things before, but it is, at the end of the day, as I said, it's a kind of a choice. And my personal theology is that you do what you want to do, you will not do what you don't want to do. That's it. So anytime I do things wrong, I don't blame anybody else. I did it. I allowed myself to. I did it. So that's the thing. But it's in the nature of men to do crazy things. Right. It's the nature of men.
Right.
So you see, just based on these answers, you can see that it's quite a personal thing. So if I'm speaking to a client, I don't have to be judgmental. So I'm very open. The person has to tell me what's causing him to cheat. Whether it's because he thinks he's inherently polygamous, or there are issues at home, his wife is not satisfying him. There was one time I've had some interesting cases. I can't go into details, but sometimes maybe after giving birth, men complain that the woman becomes wider and things happen. So in such a case, I have to introduce the person to maybe forms of making love that could help you and your partner, or refer them to a sex therapist to see how they can be more compatible after childbirth.
Right.
I think this particular topic is so interesting because you can ask a lot of men whose wives have been met and then how their sex life was after that. That could lead them to cheat, but inherently, I think it's a very personal decision.
Right. Great. So we're going to go for our final break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up, and we'll take a few questions online, and then we'll call it a night. All right. So let's take a break, and we come back to continue.
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app and do more with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app is fast.
We go the road with you to make impossible possible.
Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience.
We're gonna be with you to make life a lot easier.
No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Where you bang, you don't need no account. Silence at the app, only thing where they matter. GCB mobile app, GCB mobile app, making life so easy.
Pay your subscriptions and fees to over 150 merchants. It is safe and timely.
Get your bills paid on time. No worries. Silence at the app, only thing where they matter. GCB mobile.
All transactions on GCB mobile app are smooth. Get onto Google Play Store and Apple Store to download GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life. The enhanced GCB mobile app. Recoded to do more with ease. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Chalet, tap the app. Open a GCB Instant account to experience the recoded vibe. GCB mobile app. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Are you a Ghanaian living abroad or traveling? You can stay connected to your finances in Ghana effortlessly. Introducing GCB Link 2 Home, your trusted financial connection back home. With GCB Link 2 Home account, you can easily transfer money, manage your accounts, and pay bills directly from anywhere in the world. All this at your fingertips with the GCB mobile app and the GCB internet banking platform. Fast, secure, and convenient. Your security is our priority. With advanced encryption and secure transactions, you can trust GCB with your financial needs. Join thousands of Ghanaians worldwide who trust GCB to keep them connected to home by opening a Link 2 Home current or savings account now. Visit our website or contact us to learn more. GCB Link 2 Home, your financial link to Ghana, wherever you are.
Viewers, it's been an interesting conversation. We've had a lot of exciting things to say behind the scenes when you guys were not listening. Unfortunately, I can't share that with you. But time is not our friend today. We need to wrap up quickly so you can go continue what you have to do. So we'll just wrap up quickly, and in just a few seconds, I just want you to share with us if you could change anything about how men are perceived, what would that be? I'll start from you, Nana.
About how men are perceived. I mean, perhaps I should speak about the workplace. I guess my rest of my colleagues will talk about that. In the workplace, you shouldn't perceive men as the know-all, the be-all, the King Kongs, and so on and so forth. I think that whether you are male or female, if you have a boss who's a male, you should also be able to perceive certain changes and try and offer whatever assistance that you can. You see, it's not only the guys at the top, and I say guys, to me men. it's only the men at the top who are supposed to hold and help other people. The reverse, so this is we talk about reverse mentoring and those things. Yeah.
Right.
Same thing. You can also offer some kind of help. So that's basically what I would say. And of course, there are many other things that employers like ourselves can do to get that conversation going, to provide the kind of support and so on, to create the culture in which it's okay to say, hey, I need help.
Okay. All right. Salam.
Yeah, so that's what Abna just said. I think first and foremost, men are human beings just like any other person. We have feelings, we have black feelings, we have things. Irrespective of the fact that we are seen to be in control in certain things, like you said, if you are in like this corporate institution, men are seen to, like even if your boss is blasting a group of people, the way maybe you blast a man, knowing very well that he will take it on that level, it will be different from how he will even talk to like a female colleague, you understand? But first and foremost, I think we should help ourselves. When we see our colleague men showing signs that used not to be the norm, mood swings and stuff like that, we should reach out. I think I will use myself as an example. Last year, December, I lost a brother, a friend, a very close friend, and I had to come to work. And I think my colleagues in the office realized that, listen, nowadays when I come, I'm quiet. I'm not the usual salon everybody knows, because has that really hit me hard. So some of my friends reached out to me, they came to set up my table, like, Charlie guy, we know this thing has happened, it's hitting you, Charlie, what can we do to help? One Friday, we just organized some happy hour in the office. We just had one or two. And I think it didn't stop from there, but they were always checking up on me to make sure that I was okay, because they really knew how close I was with a gentleman. So even though it might be difficult for us to speak up, I think we know ourselves. When you see signs, please reach out. Maybe you think you can't do it, reach out to senior colleagues or people you think are well-versed in these areas to come to our aid. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Doc, we have 3 questions. I want us to answer them, and then after that, you just give your final take, and then we close the session. So, there's a question from Dennis Emisa on Teams. And Dennis says, it can be very hard to end an abusive relationship when you are really in love. Your partner may persuade you that they will change, or threaten you with further abuse or consequences. My question is, can an abusive partner change?
Yes and no. The statistics will tell you, especially with physical abuse, they hardly change. Okay? Now, it keeps on happening because there's no consequence. If I'm abusing you, but nothing is happening, because you are not getting any feedback from anyone that says, oh no, this shouldn't be happening. You stay within that loop that says it will be okay. And don't forget, abuse starts as like, this is what it starts. Beautiful relationship in the beginning, lovey-dovey, that's how it starts. Then it follows with isolation. I don't like this, your friend. This group you are part of, the way you are doing this, so they start isolating you. You don't have a social network anymore. Then now the real abuse starts. So when it is starting, what we've done is we've anchored you to us to believe that without us, you don't get anything. You are nobody. You have nothing. And that's why when you start talking, the reactions and the feedback you get from people makes you start to recognize, so I get people for my back. I'm actually loved. I'm actually cared for. That's the only alternate information that makes you start to look out for, no, I have more value and I've got to do something. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when you're in abuse, you believe things will change. And if you stay in the abuse a little longer, you say, oh, I've endured it 5 years. Why do I want to leave now? We call it the Stockholm Syndrome, where now you basically have more pity for your abuser And your abusers always have this amazing story they tell about how terrible their life was growing up, how people did this to them. So, inherently, you feel some pity for them. So, when they are doing this thing, you are saying, oh, it's because of the things that was done to them. So, his father beat him as a child. So then they are torturing you, but you are feeling for them. So you stay within that loop. You will never know the benefit until you walk out. And the only way you can walk out is being empowered. And it takes other people to tell you that this is an abuse. It takes other people to tell you, no, this shouldn't be happening. It takes other people to tell you, we are there for you. So, even if you feel like you are anchored to this person, you can't do anything without them. By people saying, no, you can do it. We believe in you. We are here for you. We can help you. You'll never come out. Right. So that's the reason why that happens. And the last part is, human beings don't like change. Change. So the expression, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. It's sequence within change. Every change registers on the human brain as danger, even positive change. So I always talk about, before people get married, a few weeks to the marriage, plenty confusion. There are fights over unnecessary things. Who will sit where? Wedding colors, food. But that's because change is coming. And their brain is perceiving, so after this wedding, now I can't do this or I can't do this. Now, to give themselves any sense of respite, they will test their partner. I'll tempt the person. So as we fight, and then we are able to resolve, okay, you at least, because we've been able to resolve. So that's usually what happens to many people unconsciously. We call it nuptial psychosis. So they don't see it. But any kind of change, when you get a new job, maybe has better prospects, better remuneration, but then at the back of your mind, hey, would they like me? Can I deliver? So it still registers as what? Danger. So wanting to leave would be the fear of the unknown. So if I leave, will I get something better? Until you leave, you will never know.
You'll never know. Thank you. Eric, I want you to take this one. It's from Joyce Boating on Teams as well. Joyce says, thank you very much for this insightful discussion. I believe that in the corporate arena, setting an unrealistic target or expectation for employees can trigger mental health challenges. What support or tool can management provide to help balance high performance standards whilst maintaining mental well-being?
Okay, that's an interesting one. Recently, I've about 2 publications on organizational culture and then how it impacts mental health. And you find that for across board, in cultures where people think that it's more negative, mental health or work-related mental health is quite low. This question is one that we answer in conjunction with those in the field. I'm a clinical psychologist, maybe they're into HR. I cannot make a recommendation without hearing from the HR people too, because the eclectic approach, a blend, will help us to know a more optimal way of handling the situation. Right. So if the person says high performance, right, so the person wants to know, does the person want to know how high performance is going to be rewarded, or I'm not sure I get that part clearly.
So the thing is, usually there are targets that are set, but some people or sometimes it seems to be unrealistic, right? So maybe your market strength, you can naturally hit 10 million, but management says we have to go above and beyond, so bring 30 million. It might sound unrealistic to that individual, maybe because he finds himself somewhere in Yampala, right? He's competing with somebody who is here in Accra, and they have to struggle for the same target, but the audience are pretty different. So such an individual is asking that, is there a support tool or something that management can put in place to ensure that there's a balance, to help the staff to perform properly and whilst meeting the needed target?
Quickly to answer that, if the person thinks it's really not realistic, first, if this person were to be my client, I would ask, has this target been hit before? If it hasn't been hit before, then okay, we know where to go from there. Then I'll find out how well the person can pitch a more achievable goal. And you have to pitch that with your management to see how you can work around that. When it comes to therapy, most of the time we work with people's ability to communicate what they really want and then what they can do than any other thing.
Okay.
So this is one way that I think you can go
So
about.
before you come in, I just want Nana to react to it.
Yes, so he's right about one thing. It's the classic HR answer to this is that you and the psychologists also know this very well. There's this thing that says that, okay, the target may seem unrealistic to you, especially if you think that the reward for achieving it is not that much. That's one of the things. It's called valence and all those other things. So if you have been doing 5,000 consistently, and next year we say we need to do 10,000, the first thing you ask yourself is that how realistic is this target? Has it been done before, as I said, and so on and so forth? And if I am I able to achieve it? Once you convince yourself that are you able to achieve it, the next thing you ask yourself is that if I achieve it, what will I get? And so what's in it for me? Now, if what's in it for you is a bonus of 100 CDs, I can live without it. I don't. The effort to move from 5,000 to 10,000 is not worth the 100 CD bonus that I'm getting.
Right.
Or any other thing that I'm going to get. After you get through that, you ask yourself that, but if I don't achieve, what will happen? If not achieving the 10,000 will mean that you are going to be sacked, you'll be motivated. Okay, so it all depends on. But for again, in an organization, what you do is that, so how are these targets set? Is it that you see somewhere they sent to you by email? Is there a discussion about the macroeconomic, whatever, what's in the market and so on? The process towards doing that will make you understand. When we talk about targets, we usually talk about what? Smart targets.
Right.
They are there. It's about realistic. So if the whole of Ghana, the consumption of the product you are selling is 10 million, the whole of Ghana, you are competing with 23 other banks and so on. How do you say that I should bring 8 million? You see what I mean? So it's about expectations, about both understand that it's how realistic it is and so on and so forth. The more you talk about this, the more you create an enabling environment in the organization for these discussions to be had. Whether target setting, the target review, and so on and so forth. People feel involved and they are more likely to see that the target is fine. But it's all about creating an enabling where people talk about it and so on.
Right. Awesome. I wish I could ask you to contribute because you and Aaron, you know, just under 1 minute. If you can just share a thing or two.
So like HR rightly said, there should be this motivational factor. Once the target is given to you, you are an employee. Your goal is to meet it. There are consequences when you don't meet it. The reward side is a different ballgame altogether. But the first thing is, if I don't meet it, what happens to me? Is my position going to change? Am I going to be sacked? So those are the things that come into play. But even with the target setting, there are conversations that you have towards them. Sometimes the targets are even when after talking or having a discussion and you see your target, you can go back to your bosses and say, oh, chief, last year we did this, look at the indicators. If you are saying I should do 50% or 60% of my target last year, things, the macro indicators or what the economy we find ourselves in, it's very unrealistic. Sometimes you come to a common ground where you might even be told that let's start. When we get to, let's say, mid-year, we'll get to know whether, maybe by mid-year you even bash that target. And you have the rest of the year to just maintain what you have. But there should be a conversation. Right. Times, when a conversation is had, you need points to prove that, listen, can this be achieved or this will not? And I think the number one factor is, listen, you are an employee. When the target is set, if I don't achieve it, what happens to me? If you are able to answer that, then you are able to.
Okay, right. So just
so he said something very important. He said, let's start. And I'm going to speak about pure motivation from the human brain. You see, when there's a target that is set, this is what the brain does. It spends more time thinking about, can I achieve it, than working towards it. That's where the problem is. Now, and humans are naturally, inherently, we are negative. So you see, your brain will give you 1 million reasons why you won't hit the target. And all you need to do realistically is to what? Start. When you start, you learn from it. And by learning from it, you can modify your tactics or come back and say, this is unrealistic. Now, I give you a practical example. If you are someone who likes to fast and pray, on the day you are fasting and praying, there's one thing you do more than fast and pray. You look at the clock. On that day, and you look at the clock, you look at the time, just 10 minutes. You do plenty things, you come back, it's 10 minutes. And your brain is saying, can I do 6 to 6? But there are many days where you go the whole day without eating and you don't notice it. So the motivation is always reward yourself for the steps towards the goal, and don't be hyper focused on the goal. Because with the little steps you take, if you say, I've been able to take one step, you have more motivation than, can I get to the goal? So that's something you must realize from a purely brain motivation perspective. Yeah.
I like that. So let's take the final question. That's from Ama Yeboah on Teams as well. Ama says, this question feels a bit out of place, but please pardon me to ask, considering I think it's a serious issue which needs to be addressed, especially in a forum like this. In my observation, younger men between the ages of 22 and 33 seem to be in tune with both their emotional and nurturing side compared with the older generations.
Yeah.
Whilst this is a positive shift, it sometimes appears to come at the expense of their ability or willingness to take on traditional masculine responsibilities that society still expects of them. As a woman, I value this emotional awareness, but I also recognize the importance of fulfilling those societal roles. For older men who are raising future men, how do you navigate and balance these evolving aspects of masculinity? So you can take that first question.
Yeah.
That's for older men. For older men who are raising future men, how do you navigate and balance these evolving aspects of masculinity? And then Eric, you can take the second part, which says, how do you encourage both emotional intelligence and the ability to meet traditional expectations? Just briefly for us. Right?
The observation she makes is accurate, but the accuracy is not on the age, it's on the information that we have now. So you see, people have learned that you can be nurturing and there's nothing wrong with it. Now, it's not for all people, but we notice that within the Gen Z, and these people are within the Gen Z culture, there is this drive of, I have to take care of my emotional health, to the point that sometimes it's used as an excuse to do what you must do. So we have a lot of stats, especially from Europe and America, where they are now finding it difficult to find workforce who would do the job, because the tradition, like the millennials, and their own is, you must do it. So it's a whole like a generational issue. Now, for me, I say we have been blessed with the hard upbringing, but at the same time, we've also noticed the detriments of that. Now, the hard upbringing is, you must do what you must do, but I'm not beating you because you are not doing it. I'd rather encourage you. I'd rather teach you, do it, hold it, try harder. And if you are breaking down, I won't say don't do it. I say we still got to do it. But it's the approach in which I use to communicate that changes the dynamic. And this is going to get worse progressively if we're not stepping in to put the brakes. See, my son loves climbing. My wife is afraid. So she'd rather say, don't climb, play video game. I would say, even if he falls down, I'll be there to catch him. So just because I have that zest to allow him to explore, I am opening up the parameters for him to take on those roles as well. So it has to do with guidance. It's not a all or nothing thing. It has to do with guidance. There are people who are very balanced. I mean, in parenting, there is what we call an authoritative parent. So they set limits which are realistic. They put in punishments, but they are not overly just bringing the child down or overly permissive. And that dynamic is also is a scope that is available and can be done. So I would say the balance will be there if you know you're looking at the future. I tell parents that if you parent to become insignificant in your child's life. So if you find that as your child is aging, you are still in their life, you haven't done a good job. They are going to be dependent on you, and that's where our challenge really is.
Right. Thank you. Eric, can you take that second one?
Yeah, so the second part of the question. He mentioned something about there being an assortment of information on YouTube with regards to things about mental health and stuff. And the reason why within the age group you mentioned, there's more focus on emotional intelligence. I think the challenge is the fact that there are not adequate or appropriate mentors to around for young men. This is a men's forum, so I'll speak about young men.
Right.
Myself, it wasn't until recently that I reached out to people to want to be mentored, because we focus on, this is how I feel. I'm more focused on my feeling. Sometimes your feeling doesn't matter as a young man. Sometimes you need to, like you said, you need to know how to be tough. And what you are feeling, what exactly are you feeling? Because if I say something which is facts to you and then you feel bad about it, it's your feeling, yes. But should you address the facts on the ground, or should you sulk in your feelings? So as young people, they should know, well, we should know how to balance the two. So yes, I feel this, yes, I think I should focus more on my mental health, but I also need appropriate mentoring to know that, okay, you can handle this way without shaking a whole part of your responsibility as a young man. Because yes, the traditional roles are there. Right now, the traditional roles are breaking a little because women are also working, men are also working. Everybody says 50-50. So the question the person asks, I don't know if the person wants to equalize that. So young men should find mentors. In addition to finding mentors, the fact that traditional roles are changing, I think they would always change. So the person who asks the question should probably accept that as it is.
Okay. Nana, just final words, 30 seconds.
Well, so all this, it's a very good thing that we've had this conversation. As Salom said earlier on. Everywhere you go, in November is the blue month, right, for men.
Yeah.
But October, everybody talks about this, and you know all the things we joke about them, but it's real. It's Mother's Day, it's a lot of attention focus on women, and for good reason, to cure something that was in the past. But I think we need to have more of these discussions. And then from the workplace as well, there are things that we need to do. I was telling earlier on that there are things that I want to do in this organization next year to help shape some of these things. I'm happy Doc mentioned things about sexual harassment, for instance. I mean, most of the time when you mention it, you are talking about women as the victims. But we know, if I show you, I mean, we know that men kind of take it on the chin and so on. So we need to be having a lot more of these discussions for that kind of balance to be there.
Right, thank you. A lot more of such discussions. Yeah. Thank you, Nana. Salam, final words.
Yes, so I will still maintain the fact that this is a good step. I think we should continue with such discussions, and having such discussions will just break the barriers for men to be able to know that, listen, you are human. So if you are feeling something, speak to somebody. Like Doc rightly said, speak to people who have sense. You understand? Even those who don't have sense, they will laugh at you, but at least when somebody hears you out, you are almost halfway through your issues. So the awareness, we should step up the awareness. The information is out there, but we don't hear as much as we hear about the women advocacy. So I think we should try and do more. We should have such forums every now and then to let the men know that, listen, we care about you as we care about the women as well. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Seth, just in one sentence.
Our women, make it easy for us to be vulnerable. Most of our reflections are towards the women. And so if I come to you and you in any way look at my vulnerability and you turn it around to me, then I can't be vulnerable. Okay. But we are asking that we should be. So make it easy for us to come to you.
Women, make it easy. Allow us to be vulnerable. Eric?
I wish I could say this in a sentence, but I need to create context.
Okay.
So the first time I knew I needed to speak to a psychologist, a friend of mine had just told me that she wanted to end her life. And I was in a taxi going to work, and I could feel myself holding back tears. I'd never experienced this in my life before. I'm a psychologist, people come to talk to me, I know how they experience, but me experiencing it firsthand, somebody I know, it's different when a client comes to you and the client is suicidal. Then when somebody so close to home says that I'm going, right, I sit in the car and then I'm really holding back tears. As a man, please just talk to somebody when you need to. Forget about what people will think, because we need you here alive. If you focus on what people will think, you never get better.
Right. Focus on, don't focus on what people think would happen to you. You have to go beyond that and try and seek help where you have to seek help. Gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been an awesome conversation, very insightful. Attention and interest has been top notch. I appreciate this conversation. I'm positive that every one online has benefited as well. And I believe that moving forward, GCB Bank will continue to do such, hold such events so that we can educate the staff and valued customers as well. Doc, thank you for making time, and we appreciate everything that you've shared with us today. Nana, we appreciate your time as well. Salom. And we thank management as well for giving us the opportunity to even hold this event to show the world that GCB indeed cares. Thank you very much, and do have a good evening. All right.
Hello, Madam Bola. How are you and how's Lagos?
Kwame, Lagos day oh. How is Accra?
Accra is fine. We can't complain. Are my fabrics on the way?
Yes, I hope my money is also on the way.
As we speak, my accountant is sending money to you and others at GCB.
Money don't enter.
That is a lifesaver.
Yeah, Lady D. What's up, baby?
Tia, I got the money.
Oh, that's beautiful. It was fast.
Oh, and guess what? It was so easy and faster than I thought.
I'm busy right now. Let me call you back later, yeah? All right. Love you, baby.
See you soon. Bye.
From country to country, make seamless transactions across Africa with GCB. For more information on parts and how to get started, call toll-free on 0800 422 422.
GCB, your bank for life.
The power to choose now is in your hands with GCB prepaid cards. When you choose a GCB prepaid card, load it before you can use the card to make purchases or transactions. The card is not linked to a bank account. All you need is your Ghana card. The GCB prepaid card gives you a taste of two worlds, Visa card and MasterCard. It further gives you three categories of prepaid cards to choose from: Visa Prepaid Classic and MasterCard Consumer Prepaid for individuals, Business Prepaid for MSCs and SMEs, Corporate Prepaid Card for government agencies and corporate entities. Everybody can use a GCB prepaid card. GCB customers, non-GCB customers, G-Money Wallet users. Make life a lot easier. Use a GCB prepaid card and enjoy loads of benefits. 24/7 access to funds, advanced security features, POS and e-commerce transactions and payments, withdraw funds from any MasterCard and Visa card accepted ATM terminal, the ability to manage cards on your own, and lots more. To apply for a GCB prepaid card, you have options. 1. Visit any GCB bank branch with your Ghana card, a mobile number with a valid SIM. Request for a prepaid card forms and complete the required information and make an initial deposit. Or 2. Use the GCB mobile app to apply for a prepaid virtual